Hi everybody, I hope you're all well. I'm going to be doing an art lesson with you today with a maths link too. It might take you a couple of days to do it well. That's okay, you can pick it up whenever you want to. Our art lesson today is linked to an artist called Kandinsky. Now I'm going to give you a couple of facts about Kandinsky and then I'd like you to do some research and find out more. So your first task today is going to be to find out or to research more about this artist. Fact one about Kandinsky is he was born in 1866 in Russia. So we're looking at a Russian artist. And he actually he didn't get into art, if you like, until he was about 30. He actually studied law at university and then became a professor of the law, so a law teacher, if you like. And when he became an artist, or even before that, he was really interested in music as well. And his art was inspired by listening to a piece of music and then drawing what he felt. Now, I think I've given you a task similar to that in one of your topic home learnings. Some of you might have done it. The piece of artwork I'm going to show you by Kandinsky and which is going to inspire us today is called Composition 8. So composition, there's that music link. So this was inspired by a piece of music. And I'm going to hold it up for you now. And what you'll notice is the different shapes that Kandinsky uses. Now, what I should say is that Kandinsky is an abstract artist. Abstract meaning he doesn't draw identifiable people or objects or landscapes. His artwork is linked to shape and to colour. And to lines as well, actually. So here you can see things like circles, we've got some rectangles within sort of irregular quadrilaterals, triangles over here. We've got lots of parallel and perpendicular lines, some semicircles. So all sorts going on in this picture, and in fact, the longer you look at it, the more you'll see. So one task you could do is just have a look and see if you can note down all the shapes that you can see. Lots of different angles too, and I know that's something you've worked on in upper key stage 2. Okay, so this is what our artwork is going to be inspired by. So your first, or your second task after research actually, is to use the artwork that we have as inspiration for your own piece. And there aren't any right or wrongs here. So I'm going to show you with my board markers exactly how I might achieve this. Now, I think you would be able to do this with sketching in pencil and then maybe going over in colouring pencil. You could use paint, you could use felt tips, it's up to you. But you're going to use Kandinsky to inspire you. And because we're using Kandinsky to inspire us, it would be really great if some of you maybe put some music on while you did this and use the music as your inspiration and almost not think so much about what you're drawing as kind of go with the flow. So some of you might really enjoy doing that. I'm not going to put music on just because I want to be able to talk you through what I'm doing, but I'm literally going to start with a circle because that's the first thing I notice when I look at this composition 8, and then another circle here. And what I really like about some of Kandinsky's work is the shapes within shapes, so I'm going to use that to inspire me. I'm going to keep changing the colour of my pen. Again, like I said, you would do it in pencil first and then you'd add your colour after. If you're drawing a straight line, I have got a ruler here, so I'm going to add any straight lines. I'll make sure I use my ruler. So I'm going to draw a pair of parallel lines, and I might then use my ruler to do what looks like an angle, half a triangle. Just find that. I'll pop it there. I could then add in another pair of parallel lines. I might then use a triangle, but I'm going to do a really large triangle that kind of encompasses some of my other shapes. And obviously you'll be sketching with pencils, so it doesn't matter if you sort of go across lines, as it were. I might do a little rectangle down here, and again I should be using my ruler for that. I'm obviously doing it very slapdash, children, just to show you the idea, but I'd expect you to take your time over it. I don't want you to have to watch me drawing my picture for 20 minutes, but certainly I'm sure you could spend that and much longer on yours. I'll do a really small circle here, a circle square here. And you can see I'm trying to use colour because Kandinsky has. So all kinds of abstract shape and line, but like I say, I'm just drawing these almost off the top of my head, just using the picture for inspiration, but Kandinsky would have listened to music as well. So far, that would be 2 tasks for you. To research Kandinsky, find out more about him. 2, to create a Kandinsky-inspired piece of artwork. Now, obviously, you can see at the moment mine is no match for Composition 8, but it could be if I spent more time on it. And I certainly know there's lots of talented artists among you who could really create something special. So I'm going to pop this onto the screen, and then you can pause the video here if you want to leave that up while you're creating your artwork. The other alternative would be to just have a Google, and there's obviously you'll find that on Google, and you can print it out or leave it onto your screen, whatever works for you. So that's task 2. And then task 3, I'm going to give you some options, and you can obviously differentiate it as you need to. So this is, again, Composition 8, but I'd like you to value it as a piece of art using the shapes that are there. Now I'm going to give you some options, and then I'm going to add some options in for those more confident mathematicians among you. So I'm thinking particularly year 5 and 6, but year 3, 4, if you're up for the challenge, you could follow that as well. So if we look from here, any triangle that Kandinsky uses in his picture is worth £7,500. Semicircles are worth 5,000, squares are worth 10,000, quadrilaterals are worth 2,000, so remember that's any 4-sided shape, and parallel lines are worth 5,000. So any that you spot of those, you could add up and see how much Kandinsky's picture's worth. So again, that's from the triangles down to the parallel lines. You could add those up. How much would that make this painting worth? And if you applied it to your own artwork, how much would your own artwork be worth as well? If you want more of a challenge, you could also add in circles with a diameter of more and less than 1 centimetre. And then they'd be worth 15 or £10,000. Acute angles are worth £5,000. Obtuse angles are worth £2,500, and any perpendicular corners, so that's, I remember, a corner that goes like that, would be worth, how much did I say, £20,000. So big money for perpendicular corners. So if you want the challenge, add the first few up, but everyone can have a go at adding the bottom 5. Now I'm going to hold this up again so you can pause the screen. So remember, you're working out how much would your painting be worth, but also how much would Composition 8 be worth. So there are 3 choices of task. You could do 1 or all 3. Let's recap what they are. So it's researching Kandinsky and his life, creating a Kandinsky-inspired picture, and seeing how much Composition 8 and your own artwork is worth. Have fun with it. I look forward to hearing about it.